Well, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, all of you. Well, my dearest audience, it's me, Aisyah Evlina Jamil, and I am here to present my PowerPoint about the nature of teacher education, which is in Chapter 1 from the subject Strategy for English Learning. So, without further ado, let's we started. So I did the video as well, so you can see my point of view. In front of me, there's a slide that describes what is teacher training and teacher development. For the teacher training, it involves trying out new strategies in the classroom, understanding basic concept and principle as a prerequisite for applying them to teaching, and the ability to demonstrate principle and practice in the classroom. While teacher development means refers to general growth, not focused on a specific job, it often involves examining different dimensions of a teacher practice as a basis. But there's many things that cannot be learned about teaching, such as subject matter knowledge, pedagogical expertise, and understanding of curriculum materials. Well, teachers have different needs at different times during their careers, and the needs of the schools and institution in which they work it's also changed over time. So it's really important that teacher must be growth and understanding about their basic of learning. Strategies for teacher development often involves documenting different kind of teaching practice, such as reflective analysis of teaching practice, examining beliefs, values, and principles such as conversation with peers on card issues and collaborating with peers on classroom projects. So the first step that we will discuss is understanding teacher learning. Teacher learning is a concern with exploring questions. These questions are themselves dependent on our conceptualization of the nature of language teaching and our understanding of the knowledge, attitudes, skills, and process we employ while we are teach others. Well, questions like what is the nature of teacher knowledge and how it is acquired, or what cognitive process do we employ while we teaching and while learning to teach, or questions like how do we experience and novice teachers differ, such as like that. Jumping to the next slide is a conceptualization of teacher learning. The first point here, teacher learning as a skill learning. It means that teacher learning as the development of a range of different skills. And the second one is teacher learning as a cognitive process. Well, that is mean that process use include self-monitoring, journal writing, and also analysis of critical incidents. And the third one is teacher learning as a personal construction. It led to an emphasis on teacher individual and personal contribution to learning and to understanding of their classroom. And the last is teacher learning as reflective practice. It's led to the notion of reflective learning. Well, the next slide is the individual and institutional perspective. The individual perspective is a subject matter knowledge, pedagogical expertise, self-awareness, also understanding of learners, and curriculum, also materials, and career advancement. But in the institutional perspective, we have institutional development, career development, enhanced levels of student learning also. But from the institutional perspective, professional development activists not merely just want to improve the performance of teacher, but to benefit the school as a whole. Jumping to the next slide, we have collaborative and self-directed learning. What is the collaborative learning? Actually, collaborative professional development projects allow tasks and responsibilities to be shared. So it means that cooperation becomes a values that can guide the process of teacher development. So this is the one of the important things of teacher learning. And we have self-directed learning here. Well, self-directed learning have inquiry, self-appraisal experience personal construction, contextualized learning, planning, and managing. So the next slide we have implementing professional development. So this is the final part of chapter 1. In this part, teacher can play many aspects of their own professional development. Most of the activities and procedures discussed in this book can be carried out under the teacher's own initiative. Let me see from the teacher's perspective first, what kind of initiative that teacher must have. The first is decide what you would like to learn about your teaching and about the field. And next is identify a strategy to explore the topic you are interested in. You can talk to people who have taken part in a professional development activity and decide what kind of support that you need, and select a college or colleagues to work with, realistic goals, and establish a time frame. And then don't forget to share the result with others. And now we see from the institutional perspective what initiative that they must have. The first is determining the needs of both the institution and the teacher itself. The second is setting goals for professional development. And next is selecting the participant, important consideration, providing support, and evaluating what has been learned. So I think that's all that I can explain to you. A simple explanation that I hope you guys really understand and get it. At last but not least, I really apologize for all of my mistake and very thankful for this occasion and opportunity. And in the end of the world, let me say goodbye to each other. Bye. Thank you.